Hey folks, it's Spitz with Pixels and Pills at the EDTC Revolutions Conference in Washington, D.C. 2012. It's my pleasure to have Michelle Tucker, VP Creative Director over at Draft FCB in Chicago, and she had an intriguing presentation yesterday on the nature of patient adherence, pinching and zooming. Can you tell us a little bit about the pinching and zooming?
I can, yes. Thank you so much. Pinching and zooming. Who knew that when Steve Jobs talked about it in 2010 when he launched the iPad, that it was going to be such a huge issue, right? And, you know, arguably one of the most controversial issues right now, you know, with all of the trials going on. But it doesn't matter which side you reside on. The bottom line is that pinching and zooming is absolutely what everyone is doing right now. It's the way they're consuming content. And so what it does in terms of the way we present information to our patients, patient education information, that knowledge is power. And when your patients can actually pinch and zoom and really interact with it in an immersive experience, what that does is it makes them feel empowered, like they are actually taking their control of their own condition. And that helps them move through that treatment journey in a way that we've never been able to do so before.
Absolutely. When I first saw Steve present, within minutes, some pundit on the web had photoshopped him and basically taken about 6 or 8 iPhones and duct taped them together to parodize the iPad, that it was really qualitatively no different in experience. But the genius behind the iPad, I think, is exactly what you're saying, is it's not just the mobility, but it's the touching, it's the sensuous interactivity with the digital medium, which a mouse doesn't afford and the conventional keyboard can't really do. And when you're talking about adherence and then connecting with patients with information that's just so important to them in terms of their health and wellness, chronic conditions, and the motivational component, the fact that they actually interact with that data makes such a big difference. And not only for patients, but physicians too. The iPad's absolutely revolutionized physician communication within healthcare as well.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, there's no doubt about it that when you think about when you're sitting there in the middle of the exam room, if there's a doctor who is able to say, I found this really great content that's going to really help you and in terms of the treatment itself. So to actually be able to sit there in the exam room and go through the actual content yourself with your doctor truly transforms that patient-doctor relationship and also the conversation. It's a huge game changer for us. And, you know, thank goodness the publishing world really set the stage for us and really paved the way. You know, it allows us for this opportunity to have truly immersive experience. You can watch videos, you can share content with your friends. So many different things you can do right there with your tablet, and it's with you all the time. So it's a great way to actually continue that experience.
You have that touch, but you also have the mobile component, the Wi-Fi connectivity, and it's the whole Shazam, basically point of care everywhere, right? And what kind of things are you doing specifically at Draft which take advantage of some of this, not only in adherence, but with your whole change in the digital worldview?
Oh, it's really quite amazing. So, you know, in addition to working with our clients on things like ebooks, we've been creating, you know, lots of apps around for a number of our clients. We actually even created last year an app called the Heat Tracker, and the Heat Tracker actually works to show wherever you are. If perhaps you're out at a restaurant or a bar, it will actually show you. You actually input your information. So, as a male or a female, you would say, "I'm a guy. I'm 26, and I would actually want to find out then what girls are out there, or what you know, to see what the heat's like when you're going to a restaurant or a bar." So it's really taking advantage of all of that consumer behavior. It's what the information that they want, it's the behaviors that they want, and really putting it directly in their hands.
That's perfect. And in terms of creating an app, you can make the best app in the world, but at the end of the day, it's just an app. So how do you surround these awesome kind of tactile, point of care, everywhere experiences with a program to kind of reinforce that, especially when you're talking about adherence, right? Because the app alone isn't going to do it for you. So how do you position that Wunder app, so to speak, using the iPad within a broader kind of CRM or communication strategy?
Yeah, it is truly about that 360 degrees of communication to the patients, and it is about making sure you're reaching them in every way, shape, and form, and being able to share with them information about how this particular app might be helpful to them along the journey, using it through a CRM program, whether that's even in, you know, old school DM, if you will. You know, sending a DM piece that reminds people you've got this available to them can be truly powerful. Also sending them emails, you know, even actually including this information on your website, in your mobile devices, sending out text messages to let them know that
Sometimes
you've got this available.
SMS is the
Absolutely,
best thing.
yeah. It's hard to ignore when you've
yeah,
got that
when
text
it's so
messages
powerful.
whipping in your pocket.
It just makes a big difference
Yes,
too.
so it's absolutely that 360 degrees.
And with all this pressure and excitement, has the nature, I know it has for me, but your nature with your pharma marketing teams or your medical device teams that you work with, do you see a tipping point? Like before, just digital was just a line item on the spreadsheet, and now it's taken such center stage. And now with the iPad and everything you're describing, they're starting to buy it, right? They're buying it in the sense of believing it, and they're buying it in the sense of it really being a game changer for them.
Yeah, I think that the industry overall is really starting to take on this mobile-first kind of mentality. And I can definitely say that our pharma clients are embracing that as well.
Isn't it a refreshing change, though, where you had to try so hard? You show up with the Manhattan Research just trying to convince them that they're using the channel, whether it's social or mobile, and now it's like, duh.
It's true. And it's even coming so far as to permeate with our medical, regulatory, and legal people as well.
Right.
They are absolutely seeing that, oh yes, this is the way I work with my content, this is how I engage with people every day. That seems like something that we absolutely should leverage for all of our patients.
Right, and they're learning it a little bit because it's a different ball of wax in terms of handling fair balance on the one hand, or basically knowing how we engage with especially the patient segment on the other, right?
Absolutely. And it's really about working really closely with your brand teams, with your LMR teams, to make sure that you're finding something that's mutually agreed or amenable to a solution, so that you're meeting all of the FDA regulations, but at the same time still providing a great content immersive experience.
And thanks goodness it's gotten a lot easier, just because the engagement levels are through the roof. It's like the most stubborn brand manager or regulatory person, just they're not only giving in, but they're embracing it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a really great experience as well for us, just even in terms of them being able to take risks. It's something that it's treading ground that they've never done before, but people really want to be a part of it. They know that this is the revolution, and they want to take advantage of it.
Awesome, thank you, Michelle Tucker, pinching and zooming, taking part of the new mobile and tactile revolution within digital health. It Spitz at EDTC Revolutions, Washington 2012. Thanks so much, Michelle, for joining us.